Alright, this is that one guy. I've got a new ship design. It is the pinnacle of the Gourami line of research. I've got 3 of these shuttles. This is the Gourami V Dedication. There's also the Gourami V Hope and the Gourami V Motivation. So let's take it to the launch pad and see what's new. Alright, right off you see the new canards. Those are for re-entry. They make it a lot easier. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit G to bring up the landing gear. And as you see, I've already hit T for the SAS. So now I'm going to bring it up to 100% throttle and go. Now, the Gourami V is powered by 2 liquid rocket boosters. Now, before we get too terribly high, we're going to quick turn on that. We're going to roll our ship using Q till the bottom of our plane is... Okay, we can't get too terribly off right now, because the more off we are now, the more pain in the butt it's going to be to correct in the future. So the belly of our plane is sitting at about 90 degrees. Now, what's going to happen is once we hit about 5,000 meters, we're going to want this down here to be at 60 degrees above the horizon on a 90-degree heading. So right now, oh boy, I'm just doing some course correction stuff to make sure that we stay upright as long as possible. Okay. So this is the only challenging part about this. Oh boy. This is the only challenging part about this ship. This is actually where I have had to scrub the launch 3 times already, but that is just due to I'm still kind of learning how to fly this thing. It does fly very well. I've had a very successful flight, and unlike the Gourami 4, this actually responds better to re-entry. I have landed it, but not on a runway, so that will come in good time. But as you see, it's very herky-jerky right now, and it will continue to be as long as we are, whoa boy, both in the atmosphere and under the power of these boosters, because it is zipping us along very, very, very quickly. Now these burn out around 20,000 meters, and as long as you are right about at between 70 and 60 meters, 70 and 60 degrees above the horizon, you'll still be able to get a very, very favorable orbital performance out of this ship. So we're down to our last 2 fuel tanks in our boosters, and the nice thing about this ship is there's absolutely no risk of the boosters coming down on land. They all go out into the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into orbit, and then I'm going to attempt to land on the runway, but failing that, I know I can land on land. So if push comes to shove, I'll pause the video recording system and it will jump you forward in time. Oh, wow, I guess I was wrong. It's going to cut us out at about 32,000, I believe. Or I'm wrong again. Yeah, well, it'll just finish off when it wants to. But as you see, as it gets emptier, you get a much more favorable flight. You just separate and ignite. There go the 2 boosters. Let's go to the orbital map view. Now what we're going to want to do is, just like the orbiter, we're going to want that to get to 100,000 and cut the engine. So while we're still in the atmosphere, we're going to roll down. I think we're in the atmosphere. Barely. Going to roll down to 10 degrees, and while we've got this good orbital speed going on, we're going to go ahead and hit 10 degrees above 90 and shoot this out into an orbit. Now this goes into LKO, which is about 300,000 meters as far as I know. So yep, just getting into orbit. So at 70 right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it at 125, because you can really do this 2 ways. You can either do it at 100,000, wait to get to the apoapsis, and then fire your rockets, Or you can do what I just did and elongate this a little bit so that I've got some more time up at the apoapsis. So we're going to speed up a bit. And as you see, the dedication debris is just going to fall right into the ocean, which, as far as role-playing, is pretty nice, along with the fact you're not going to clutter up the sky with any unnecessary space debris, which I know some people are a big fan of space debris. And as you see, the actual G-forces involved with this ship aren't very much. It's only 2 G-forces. 2 G's? Yes, I know physics. Anyways, we're making up the last, I would say, 500 meters per second here, to get out to 300,000 meters. So we're going to slow this down a little bit. And the nice thing about these is they have a good RCS system. I mean, my system is well aligned. So I'm just going to bring this, nope, a little too much. There we go. I'm going to bring it over to here. So I'm assuming that people know how to get into a circular orbit, but as you see, it's about 6.5 minutes to get to the point where you're not going to fall back to Earth. So, Kerbin. So I'm going to cut out right here, and I'll bring you back in over here. Okay, as you see, we are approaching the apoapsis. So we're going to slow it down just a tiny bit. And something that I'm not entirely sure why it happens, but this ship does actually experience weird fluctuations in its orbital mechanics. So we're going to pick up the speed just a little bit here. And my earnest hope is I can pick up about 300 meters here to bring it up to 300,000 meters. So that's pretty good. I'm just trying to get a nice circular orbit. Plus I'm very, very familiar with the 300,000 meter orbit. That is what my old rocket pods used to orbit at. Now, the one thing that I think might be interesting is this ship actually does have enough fuel to make it back from the moon, and Minmus to a lesser extent. But I guess a challenge for you guys would be to create a booster system, which that is actually more of a pain in the butt than you'd think, to slingshot this out to another body. It's a very, very like I said, capable craft, and I would honestly like to see how it does coming in from a higher altitude orbit. However, I don't have the ability to do that right now because this is very, very, very beta. I'm still getting to the point where trying not to yeah, see, that was a little too much right there. We're going to try and bring it back to... That's good. So we're going to speed this up. And I guess now I'm just being finicky about my orbit. So I'll bring you guys back in when I'm in orbit, and I will run you over some of the stuff of crafting. By in orbit, I mean at a good circular orbit. That took a lot less time than I thought to get where I want to. But yeah, as you see, this is the Gourami V design. You can see the RCS here, here, and here, 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 and underneath the ship here. It's got 3 sets of landing gear, structural connections to level out the landing gear, the tail fins on the wings like an SR-71, and generally it works very, very well both in and out of the atmosphere. It uses the Mark II, I guess, cockpit designed from C7. So, are we moving? Yes, we are. My altitude wasn't really changing, so I wasn't sure what was going on there. But, yeah, I'll bring it around and bring you back in when I'm doing the burn to bring it down to Earth. Kerbin, thing. Okay, now the best place I have found so far to deorbit the ship is right here between, hold on a minute, right over that, in between that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this, roll over. Now, I could show you a bunch of orbital maneuvers that this can do, but that would stretch this out into something like 3 videos, 4 videos. People don't want to watch that. I understand this is just a flight tutorial. Now what I'm going to do, whoa, that was not cool. That was a bunch of my files popping up in the background. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down to periapsis of, we're going to bring it down, I still haven't found a good one, we're going to bring it down to 5,000 meters. And I know that seems really low compared to like my orbiter designs. Ooh, that was pretty on the money. But now what you're going to want to do is keep it at the away from your orbit. I roll it 180 degrees so that it's sitting on this like this, so that when we roll back over to when we enter the atmosphere, we're at least somewhat right. Now the nice thing about this is once we get into the atmosphere, all of this works out fine. But as you see, you've got over half a tank of fuel left, and I'm already on my way back down, so orbital maneuvers, no problem. In fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if this thing could go out to 600,000 meters. I haven't really tried that yet, but you know, future flights. So anyways, I'm kind of excited. Hopefully I don't blow up. Whoa, what in the world was that? I don't know what that was. Okay, so now we're at 96,000, and we're still in space, so I'm going to use the RCS. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right on that TTV and plant ourselves there. Now, this doesn't enter the atmosphere like the space shuttle does. It doesn't slow down immediately like it does, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make my entry. As you see, I go barely over those mountains, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down a lot right here, hopefully, and be right on line with the runway. So we're going to see how this does. Now hopefully this doesn't take me longer than 3 minutes, so we're going to speed up until we get into the atmosphere. As you see, I've got my controls on the precision controls. So yep, I'm going to cut out right now and bring you back in when I am closer to landing. Okay, now as you see, the coast of that Africa looking thing is coming up, and we're slowing down quite a bit, but the important thing is forward velocity. Now hopefully we don't get blinded by this sunrise I can see coming up over the mountains. So yep, like I said, I'm still experimenting with how fast and where I need to deorbit and that kind of thing with this ship. Hopefully, my plan is we can make it to the launch pad. Now what I'm doing here is I'm trying not to slow down, but I kind of am. So, you know what? We're going to come well shy of the launch pad, I think. So we're just going to slow down a lot here and hope that we can land before we hit the mountains. Just because I want to prove to you all that this thing can land, and it can land very, very well. So in order to, you know, kind of put the air brakes on, you gotta, whoa, 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 buddy, whoa, whoa, whoa. That happens sometimes if you get it over a certain point, because it likes to center in on that point right there. So I'm trying to bring my airspeed way down before I hit this. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But as you see, it's very easy to correct for when you do that. But I'm going to stop here a second. Okay, I'm hoping this landing G to deploy gear. I'm hoping this landing takes less than 10 seconds. It does not. Okay, and landed. Sorry.